He's at the what's it
Some
called?
quick chat into your mic, so.
Yeah, I'll be talking something like that.
And yeah, I'll respond sometimes as well.
Is that okay? You happy with that? What time are we going? About 5 minutes before kick-off, isn't it?
Yeah. One of the boys just said, looks like there's more crowd here than a Judgment Day. It's probably not far off.
It's probably not far wrong, no. Exactly. They've got real problems, haven't they? They really have got big problems.
just turn it off. Yeah, it was coming through, and I turned it off, so it should be off. Let me just probably. I don't need that. I've worked once.
So a very good afternoon and welcome to Ynys Park, the home of Trefelin Football Club, for the final of the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy between Port Talbot Town and Penygraig United, who have brought quite a following to this part of Wales today. 3-4 busloads, and they've made themselves heard. I'm delighted to say that Mark Naparella, the Trefelin assistant, is with me on co-commentaries here on the Red Wall. My name's Rob Phillips. I'm the former BBC Wales football correspondent, And Mark, you know a lot of these players well. This is a big day for them.
Yeah, I think if you look at the crowd that's come down, it's fantastic to see so many people out supporting the final year. But I think if Penygraig can get off to a good start, I think they've got the majority of the fans behind them, and this could be a tough afternoon. But I look at the Talbot team, and they've got some real experience within the team, so I'm sure they'll be ready for what's going to come at them.
So the teams are lining up not too far in front of us, and I'll give you those sides now. So let's start with Port Talbot Town. They've got Chris Curtis in goal. Then across the back, the captain, Sam Baker, Bradley Cook, Andrew Davis, and Corey Saunders. Ryan Kostroman is in the heart of the midfield. In front of him, Niall Hayes and Scott Tomlinson, with Michael Morris on the left side. And up front, Chris Allen and Jordan Edwards. On the bench for Port Talbot, Connor Morgan, Kieran Hayes, Aidan Chappell-Smith, Macaulay Betts, and Lewis Boxall. The Penygraig United side, as we await the formalities, they've got Morgan Harrison in goal. Across the back, Declan Simkis, Bradley Cook, the captain, Mark Crutch, well known in these parts, and Ethan Davis. Ian Smith and Connor Edwards will play behind Adam Gould in the engine room, and then two swift wingers, Ty Watts on one side, Jordan Jijichoy on the other, and Michael Hathaway up front. And now the anthem. So that Hillard Van Hadai. And let's just finish the Penygraig United team on the bench for them. Finley James, Adam Jenkins, Josh Kite, Kieran Garland, and Tam Day. And the referee is Nick Pratt, who's experienced, 10 years Cymru Premier referee. And his assistants are Rodri Davis and Chimazarim Iwuke. And we just happened to be speaking to Nick Pratt before the game, and he said, hopefully we'll hardly mention him. We shall see, Mark, we shall see. So we're just about ready to go. The team pictures, and these will be cherished by these players, Mark, you know that. As it's Penygraig United trying to pull off another cup shot. The fact that the side from the High Admit Project South Wales Premier League Division 1 East are even here, that's Tier 6 club, is some story in itself. And they're taking on a Port Talbot Town side who of course have seen European days in their heyday. They're in Tier 4, and it's a real story of giant killing, Mark.
Yeah, it's a tough one, I think, for Port Talbot here, because like I said, the crowd behind Penygraig, that's going to definitely give them a lift. They've got a couple of players that they're going to have to try and keep quiet. But as I said before, there's a lot of experience in that team. And if they can get a foothold in the game, then they've also got their crowd behind them that could push them along in this game.
So Richard Ryan, the Port Talbot manager, been in charge since the summer. former Trefelin, of course, which is the home team here. We'll talk about those in a moment with the assistant manager Mark Naparella, because I think he had a late night last night celebrating a triumph themselves. And his opposite number is Josh Broom, been there since 2017, 2018. And he said to me, it's surreal to get this far. So it's Penygraig United, all in yellow to kick off, playing from left to right. As the final of the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy gets underway, looking to succeed Newport City as winners of this competition. This is for Tier 3 clubs and below. We are underway here at Trefelin with Penygraig kicking off, and immediately long from Declan Simkis, and it's a throw into Port Talbot in their left back position. And Mark, we know that Penygraig will play 3 up front. As that's chased back. Good play, actually. Picked out by Chris Allen. And shot goes wide. First attempt to Port Talbot.
Well, I think that's the danger there with Chris Allen. He's great at getting his body in the right place, and he's got a little bit of guile around the box where he can turn and he can get his shot off.
So this is the old man, Mark Crutch, and it's Simkis plays it forward again down this right-hand side, and that drifts out for a Port Talbot Town throw. Just won by Adam Gould. He's wearing 10. Scrap on the near side. Solid tackle though. And Penygraig, Port Talbot, get the decision from the referee Nick Pratt. Will they launch this in, Mark?
I think so, Rob. I think every opportunity today, this ball will be going straight into the box. Just from looking at the early stages here, you can see Mark Crutch at the back. He's going to be the one that's going to be talking this Penygraig team through the game, I think.
Ethan Davis with the free kick for Port Talbot. And not the desired result that he wanted.
I think Corey will be disappointed with that one. It's a chance to put them under pressure in the box. He's just got a little bit cute there, swinging across the ball.
So it's goalless. Red Wall, FAW Red Wall coverage of the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy final here at Ennis Park, the home of Trefelin. Chased down that left-hand side for Chichigoy, but early intervention by Chris Curtis, the goalkeeper, picked up in midfield. Already Tomlinson seeing plenty of the ball for Port Talbot. Little flick around the corner by Michael Morris. Morris again. He's got Saunders on the outside. Should be cleared. First touch for Ty Watts. He's rapid. Loves to cut in from the right-hand side. That was a good tackle there, though, by Andrew Davis, the veteran. Here's Chichigoy shooting from distance. The intent is obvious on both sides, Mark.
Yeah, early signs there with Watts. He's obviously going to come off this right-hand side, cut onto his stronger foot. He looks physical. He looks like he's got a bit of technique as well, so he's going to be one they're going to need to keep quiet there.
Curtis, who still plays for the Vets for Llanelli, the Port Talbot keeper. Long range shot which is blocked from Jordan Edwards. And that will be the game's first corner. It's gone to Port Talbot Town. We played 4 minutes. It's goalless.
I expect Jordan at every point possible opportunity to try and get a shot off, and he's won himself a corner there.
Game's first corner goes to Port Talbot Town. It's go for the keeper and it's in. Port Talbot take the lead, and it's the big centre half Lewis Davis who's celebrating an early breakthrough for the favourites of this competition. It's Port Talbot Town 1, Penygraig United 0.
I think the ball whipped in there, Rob. Great delivery, and the aggressive runs weren't tracked, and that's a great header, putting Port Talbot ahead.
So an early breakthrough for Port Talbot. I'm pretty certain it was Lewis Davis who got the last touch. He was running away with some gusto. 1-0 Port Talbot Town. And you know, Mark, there's nothing like an early goal to settle the nerves.
And like I said at the start, Rob, I think they needed that with the crowd that they got behind them. That will quieten down, but they need to try and keep them quiet now.
There's no extra time in this game. It's straight to penalties if it is a draw. Hotly contested already. Simkis picks it up again for Penygraig, slides it in. And Talbot goes down the outside. Gets the cross in shot, the handball from plenty of the crowd. They are well supported here, Penygraig. That's a fair challenge by Ethan Davis. And collected by Chris Curtis. 1-0 Port Talbot, Mark.
There was the danger again. I think the ball going into the 9 and then around the corner to their man Watts. He looks dangerous on his right hand side.
Well, that was Corey Saunders allowed to go a long way into the Penygraig half. Immediately looked for their Chichigoy again, the winger, ready to take on Sam Baker. Looking for Ty Watts, but that's cleared away. Mark Crutches under that. And now it's with Bradley Cook, the captain. Overhit by Connor Edwards. And Port Talbot will be thankful for that. 1-0 they lead.
I think they've both been able to play a little bit of football, which is great to see. I think I got to mention him, Chris, our chairman here, does a great job at keeping the pitch. We obviously like to play football with Trefelin, but both teams are able to play at the moment, which is great.
Hooked down by Tomlinson. Comes through to Morgan Harrison, the Penygraig keeper. Cleared over halfway. Bit of head tennis. Cook up to halfway, picks out Chichigoy, who was impeded but not fouled on the referee, and then Nick Pratt, the referee, right there decides it was a free kick. Well, we said before the game their threats came wide, and they've already shown that after not too long in this game.
I think the space is there at the moment. If they get the ball wide, the full-backs are a little bit exposed, so I think these wide players for Penygraig can have a bit of joy out in the wide areas.
Crutches up for this free kick. Everybody stopped. I think there was a linesman's flag.
I've heard that call from Sam Baker many a time, where he stands there with his hand in the air and calls offside, and he managed to get that one right. But it's it can go wrong as well, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
10 minutes gone. Red Wall coverage of the Amateur Cup final, Dragon Signs Amateur Cup final. Port Talbot Town leading Penygraig United by a 1-0. Simkis again. Good challenge though by Michael Morris. Morris is upended. And they've already proved their quality in the air as an attacking force of Port Talbot with their goal. So this will be Ryan Kostromin looking over this free kick. Plenty of blue shirts to aim for Port Talbot. Floats it forward, and the goalkeeper Morgan Harrison will be grateful for that.
Again, he'll be disappointed there. The ball hasn't really put the keeper under much pressure, hasn't really tested him, and that's something that they're going to need to do.
Strong challenge by Baker, too strong for the referee. Watts wants it out wide on this right-hand side. Flicks it on for Adam Gould to chase. Does Gould keep it in? No, he doesn't. Good atmosphere, Mark, you've got to say. Plenty of local support, but plenty from the Rhondda as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here. I think it's a great crowd and a great advert for Welsh football. I think we've seen that over the last few years, how the attendances across the leagues has improved, and this is absolutely fantastic, this attendance today.
Martin Aparea alongside me. I think I said your name right then, did I?
Yeah,
that'll do.
I heard worse.
Trefelin, assistant manager, and you can tell us what Trefelin did last night, Mark?
Yeah, we were fortunate to win. Just let this play out.
Harrison out quickly.
Yeah, we managed to win the Welsh Blood Cup final last night, actually up in the Rhondda Valley in Cambrian. And I won't mention his name too loudly, but certainly Trundle managed to quieten the crowd down there last night.
And I've seen the goal he scored, and it's a ooh, that was a bit naughty from Michael Hathaway, making his presence felt. And Chris Curtis saw the funny side, but flick over the top for Edwards to chase. Gets the ball back, and it was a timely intervention to get it away. Picked up by Chichigoy, and he's got pace to burn. Knocks it past one, knocks it past two, and it's Andrew Davis who's there to deal with the danger.
Jordan's done really well there to get in just behind, and he's going to be a real danger just coming off the side of those centre-halves. They're both big lads, and I think if he can get down the sides of them, he can cause some problems. But then we saw the pace of Chichigoy on the left, a real threat for Penygraig.
For Talbot, of course, no strangers to success. They've only lost to Treorchy. They played, of course, in Europe many moons ago, and they've got a final in the South Wales FA Cup against Dinas Powys on May the 3rd. So they're having a decent season, whatever happens here. And Penygraig, well, Because the results elsewhere, or one result elsewhere today, they, I think, now are guaranteed promotion from the South Wales Premier League Division 1 East into the Championship. As Crutch is caught, stays down Mark Crutch as well, but play goes on. Watts won't give that up, and it's dealt with no nonsense by Bradley Cook. 1-0 Port Talbot lead.
They seem to have sat back Port Talbot over the last couple of minutes, and they're sitting into like a mid-block position. Should be interesting if they don't get pressure on the ball. They don't really want to let this Penygraig side get their backs up at all.
Crutch has gone forward to be a nuisance at the long throw. Simkis will try again. Crutch was the target once more, and that's gone out for Penygraig's first corner. They trail 1-0. Corner coming in from the right-hand side. I think Crutch is probably the tallest there, but Cook is up as well. Crutch was the target, just went over his head.
I think Penygraig have set up the Arsenal corner there, where they've got everybody at the back post, and then there's runs in and across, and it nearly worked for them. So Arsenal have had a lot of success doing that, and I'm sure they've picked that up from there.
They certainly did. So 16 minutes gone. Port Talbot leading 1-0. It's a cool afternoon, but it's comfortable. Hence the decent crowd. Curtis goes long, met by Crutch with some interest. Watts makes a nuisance of himself and wins it. Ty Watts, going to be an interesting battle with Ethan Davis. Chance here. Good save. And then a double save by Chris Curtis. It was Scott Tomlinson who had the first shot. Watts followed up. Tom and Curtis got his hand behind the second shot as well. Brave keeping.
Well, that's just a fantastic header from Mark Crutch at the back. It's gone to their most dangerous player. He's managed to get a shot off, which after playing in is striker. But Curtis has pulled off a great double save.
Second corner to Penygraig. Curtis pushes it over again. I think he did touch it, yes, despite the protestations of somebody to our left.
Crutch is definitely the danger here. He's just pulling off from behind the far post.
Corner from the left side. Crutch moves to the near post. It's headed away again, dealt with by the Port Talbot defence, but it may come back in. And I think that was an attempted shot, which went flying past the post. But it's 1-0 Port Talbot, but not comfortable, Mark.
No, Penygraig have really responded well to going down. They put in a lot of pressure on Port Talbot here, and they need to weather this little storm at the moment. Try and get them through the next 5 minutes if they can.
That shot was from Connor Edwards. Good control by Christian Allen. Harrison receives. Not too much pressure on him. Only Jordan Edwards is close to him. Cook brings it forward, looks for the run on the left-hand side, and that time Adam Gould is offside. every opportunity they look to get it wide.
Definitely the wide ball, but I think for Talbot they're creeping up. We've just got to be careful that it isn't that run from deep that can expose them. But yeah, they are definitely looking dangerous here, Penygraig.
The Port Talbot lead. I think it was Lewis Davis, the goal scorer. Get confirmation for that at half time. 20 minutes gone. Red wall coverage. Rob Phillips alongside the Trefelin assistant, Mark Naparella. Audacious back heel from Chris Allen. But Penygraig again. Watts gives chase. Curtis is out. And good blocking work by...
Yeah, that's Davis there coming across. He's helping out his full-back with their danger man. And they've managed to keep him quiet for the last 5 minutes or so.
Foul by Watts. And Chris Allen. Allen, former Mumbles and Pondidowi player, scored a hat-trick last week against Tom Pentra. So he's in the goals. It's played down the left-hand side. Cross into the box. Corner.
I think they switched off there, Rob. Just Chris Allen had a bit of space on the left-hand side here. And they were lucky there that they didn't get punished.
So they scored from this sort of set piece. After 5 minutes, the Port Talbot, they're looking to add to Penygraig's pain and maybe knock the stuffing out of them. But this time it's headed away at the near post. Back from whence it came. Little nibble, but plays allowed to go on. And booted forward. And Baker will play it back to his goalkeeper. Final year for Sam Baker. He's a qualified ref as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a bit of a character, Sam Baker. And he took up refereeing a few years ago. I actually managed Sam at Britain Ferry for a number of years. He's a great character to have in and around the squad.
Well, because they used to. There was a time where they started professional footballers to Tony Philliskirk did it at Cardiff when he quit, and they tried to fast track referees, didn't they? I suppose is it easier at this level, do you think?
I'm not sure. I've actually watched Sam on a couple of the children's game, and he does a good job. I think knowing the game, he's able to talk the younger ones through it, which is really good to see.
So it's don't do as I do as I say, is it? Midway through the first half, Port Talbot leading 1-0. Baker it is with a throw. Short.
Don't think there's too many keen to come and get that ball off Sam there in front of the crowd.
No, don't think there are. And it's a Port Talbot corner. There was some hesitation then. Referee was looking to his linesman.
Chris Allen there using his body again, just creating a bit of a problem for them. Keeping the ball safe side, going around the corner. And he's won a good corner there for his team. This will be an in-swinger here with Corey Saunders.
Yeah, Saunders to take it. Places the ball deliberately. Again, they're going to try and put pressure on Morgan Harrison as they did for the first goal. Harrison just about gets that away, and it's hooked over the top by Christian Allen.
That's a great ball in by Corey there. Put the keeper under real pressure, whipped it in far post, and Chrissy has been a little bit unlucky there not to keep that one down.
Yeah, he got a tap of approval from Niall Hayes then as he made his way back to the left back position. He'd be quite happy to take corners all day. Battle for the ball in the air. Talbot come out with it, flicked around the corner. Good play here by them. Curse of the commentator, chipped in by Michael Morris, but couldn't keep it down and chipped out.
Some great play by Talbot there in the midfield. They have got some really good technical players in there. Ryan Kostromin, Scott Tomlinson, just using their skill, the technique to create a chance there from Mikey Morris. He couldn't deliver the final ball.
1-0 they lead. Looks like a handball. They were a Welsh Prem club, of course, were Port Talbot. In their more halcyon days. Alan Tate used to play here, of course. Or play for Port Talbot. As Penygraig move it wide again to Chichigoy. Cuts onto his right foot from that left-hand side. Driven cross, headed out. Watts is tracking back the run of Michael Morris, and it's a long-range effort which is palmed over by Connor Edwards. Now that would have been some goal, but Curtis could take no chances. I think, Mark, he was dipping below.
That definitely had Curtis on the back foot there, pedalling backwards. I think it's a great strike. Hit through the ball nicely, and that crowd would have gone absolutely crazy behind the goal if that would have gone.
Yeah. And the man who had the shot, Connor Edwards, is going to take the corner from the left-hand side. Plenty of the big men are up from the back. Dealt with again by Port Talbot. Good interplay then by Edwards and Michael Morris. That's what you want from your centre half, just lay it off to the man on the run. Port Talbot lead 1-0. And Chichigoy tried to play the ball wide. Good tackle by Kostromin in midfield. Well, maybe not. Referee waited a bit then, didn't he?
Yeah, he went in full-blooded into that one. You have got to be careful. I think those tackles these days, not quite. You can't quite get away with them like you used to. So you've got to be careful diving in there with both feet off the ground.
So it's Kostromin for Port Talbot, going to take this free kick a few yards inside the Penygraig half. Hutch deals with that, picks out Ty Watts. Hutch again, drives it low, but straight to Kostromin and straight out. 1-0 Port Talbot lead here at Annis Park, the home of Trefelin. We play in the Cymru South, and the last three winners have been Tier 3 clubs, so both these clubs doing well to get this far. And it's just an occasion, Mark, is it? It's an occasion, whatever happens.
It's just a great occasion to see the club like this, absolutely packed out. I just hope, you know, it's been a good game so far. I hope there's some more drama in the game for the crowd that's turned out.
Baker with a big boot. Turns out to be a brilliant pass.
Got to chip the keeper there.
It's Allen. Tries to chip the keeper. Now, did Crutch get out of the way then? No, he didn't. Took a touch, so another Port Talbot corner. They've scored from one, and they are a threat.
I'm surprised he didn't have a goal there, Rob. The keeper was quite far off his line, possibly because he missed that last shot when he tried to lift it over him, but that was definitely on.
Apparently Kostromen is the joker in the Port Talbot dressing room. No
I'm
jokes
sure
on it.
if this crowd wasn't so loud, you could probably hear that one on the pitch.
Yes. Played a couple of years in the Cymru South with Pontardawi. He's looking to be on the ball again, but Watts tries to wriggle his way out. Some flying tackles going in, you have to say. No quarter asked or given. Here comes Saunders, crosses left-footed with his... But that time the radar's just a bit off, and it's 1-0 Port Talbot Town.
I just think with both teams here playing a 4-3-3, it's kind of matched up there in the middle. So that was a good example there with Saunders just getting round the winger and just providing the overlap. These wide areas are going to be key in this game.
Half hour on the clock. You're watching red wall coverage of the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy final. It's Port Talbot 1, Penygraig United 0, shot for offside. And as ever, the flag is delayed and delayed. No matter what level of football you watch. At least there's no VAR.
Yeah, that is a frustrating one, but that one's on. I think it's just the timing of that run. He's going a little bit too early there. He just bends his run. The back line are quite square, and I think that space is there for them to attack him.
Do you think they're pushing it too far then? Or can you understand with the pace that Penygraig have on both flanks?
If you look at that back line, it's not the quickest, and I think they could be exposed in there. So if it was me personally, I might drop them off a little bit, or at least have them not so square on. But that's definitely on for Penygraig with the right ball.
Gould cross to Simkis. Back in field. Oh, it's a loose touch. And Edwards will go forward. Took two of them to stop him, but they did. Wow. Crunching from Simkis. Then he loses it. This is what we want. Low cross into the box, headed away by Cook. And Chichit Guy says, enough of that, I'll boot it out.
I think this football's a little bit different to what you might experience at a championship game, but it's absolutely
I don't
brilliant.
know, I've seen some dumb championship games, but no, I know what you're saying.
Both teams are going right at it. The crowd's on top of them. I think it's brilliant.
And you've got to be able to, if you're Port Talbot, you're the favourites, you're leading 1-0. I suppose you expect this from the underdogs.
You can see the Penygraig team, they are still right up for this game. They're not going to drop their heads. I think whenever you come up with a team, come up against a team from the Rhondda Valley, you know exactly what you're going to get. We said it last night that 1 or 2-0 isn't a scoreline where you can just take your foot off the gas against any team from that valley.
No. The words of Mark Naparea, the assistant at Trefelin, the place where we are here. And talking last night after their Welsh Blood League Cup win over Penygraig Rangers 3-1. Goals from Lee Trundle, Rowan Piper and Joe Clark. I think I'm right in saying that, am I, Mark?
Yeah.
That sound about right?
It's a great game. Penygraig, very surprised they got relegated from the Cymru South this season. Really rate them as a side. Typical, like I said, Rhondda Valley team. You know exactly what you get from them. We give them a lot of respect last night. We did a lot of planning for that game, and we were lucky to come out on top in the end.
Baker comes short. I think his presence was enough to put up Chick Goy. Goalkeeper's got to get there. He didn't. And it's knocked wide by Jordan Edwards, and he will feel that was a chance.
It's a big chance, Rob. I think he's got to do better there. He's through keeper again. Seems to be coming off his line quite a lot. And that lift over is definitely on.
He's at 4 clean sheets in his last 5 before today. Not today, though. Penygraig United trail 1-0. As we've been saying, by no means out of this. Good tackle there by Kosterman in the Portaba midfield. Here comes Harrison again. He's got to get there, and he does this time. Under pressure from Scott Tomlinson.
It's an interesting game, this one, because I feel like it's gone back in Talbot's favour now. Penygraig had a little 10-minute spell there, but Talbot seems to be the one on top at the moment.
Yeah, they've hesitate to say it, they've asserted a bit of control.
Yeah, and I think the control in this game is just from maybe not so much possession, but territory, as in keeping the ball and shots, corners, their goal kicks, and that's controlling the game in a certain way.
You have to say they've started the service out wide as well. Turned by Michael Morris, but loses it. And at the moment, Penygraig can't hold on to the ball when they get it.
They've gone a little bit away from what was working in the first sort of 10-15 minutes. Those balls out wide were on, and they just seem to be forcing through the middle. There's a good example there, and just losing the balls in there.
Which is a surprise, because they were getting some joy. Here's Watts, not seen him have a run for a few minutes. Cuts inside, loves to go onto his left foot as Chichigoi goes the other way on the other flank.
You can see they've done their homework there. So Corey's giving him the outside channel, and he's come inside, it's straight into Corey Saunders in that one.
It's fierce. Here goes Corey Saunders again, moving forward, little flick, but read by Simkis, comes out of defence, looks for Hathaway up front, chests it down, Watts now, nowhere to go inside. Talbot win the decision.
That's another one where Watts could probably go on the outside. He's decided to come back on his stronger foot into trouble, where he's probably got the channel open there to stride down.
Be interesting to see if they flick it around. Hathaway holds off his man. Now Watts. But 3 descend on him. He's obviously been identified. Holds on to the ball though. Moves it to Edwards, inside to Ian Smith, and they move it across to Chichigoi. Goes between 2, wants a free kick, he's not going to get that. Free header was the shout from the crowd, and it was. Smith loses up, but he was fouled. 38 minutes gone, Portaba lead 1-0. Mark Naparay is alongside me.
I think you'll find that was Chris Curtis with the shout of free header there. He's a very vocal goalkeeper, but I think that can help you, and it gives you the confidence from behind. They've done their homework here, Talbot. They're trying to keep Watts quiet, doubling up on him. Sometimes, as we saw just now, three people play pressing Watts, but that will free up space for others, so he needs to maybe bring his teammates into the game a little bit more.
As well, isn't he? Chris Curtis does it all.
Yeah, he does the ground as well.
So it's a free kick to Penygraig United. Not too long to half time. 1 or 2 starting to move towards the clubhouse. It's drilled in, and Curtis, the groundsman, is safe with his handling as Curtis, the goalkeeper.
I don't think Mark Crutch is going to be too happy jogging 60 yards back after the boy is shot from far out there.
This is the third oldest competition, or one of the oldest competitions in the Welsh game. It's been going since 1993 as the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy, but it was the Welsh Junior Cup, the Welsh Amateur Cup, and I remember in my days starting off on the Rhondda leader, the Welsh Intermediate Cup.
I don't think there's any better way to finish a season off than with a cup final.
Yeah.
And Port Talbot are lucky they got another one, but for Penygraig, this is a real massive occasion for them.
We'll confirm it after the game, but I think they are promoting, or all but mathematically maybe, because Splot were lost today. At least they had lost when I last looked. So 5 minutes to go to half-time. You'd think Porto will just want to see this out now. No silly mistakes.
Edwards has done really well there, just dropping back in. He's more like a central striker, but he's doing his offensive job now for his team as well.
Here's Watts. This time he does cut inside and shoots wide. He's had offers apparently. His dad was coach, his late father was coach at Penygraig. Plenty of admirers. 39 goals in all competitions this season. Ty Watts.
I'm not surprised with that. You can see it. I think solidly built in the shot. They didn't quite catch that one, but you can tell that guy's got a powerful shot, and he's got a good bit of technique as well. So there'll be no doubt a few clubs looking at this one here.
And apparently the Penygraig players pay for the privilege of playing. They pay cons every month to play. That's devotion, isn't it?
I think so, and you can tell there's a real togetherness in the team, and that can pull them through and maybe get them back into this game, because they are up against it at the moment.
Again, some meaty challenges. Played down the near side. Well, referee waves play on again. Ooh. That was a crunching challenge. It was Hathaway and Michael Morris. I think it was a 50-50 one.
I think that's a tough one to call there.
Yeah.
I think Michael's come off worse, but yeah, really good, honest challenge by both players.
So there's going to be a break. Port Talbot leading by a goal to nil. Lewis Davis, I think the goal scorer. We'll get that confirmed at half-time. There won't be any chatter from us at half-time, so you can have a break. But make sure you join us for the second half. We've got about 2.5 minutes plus whatever they add on for this injury time. 1 or 2 drinks flying on from the Penygraig bench, and the Port Talbot players have moved to their bench for sustenance before they head into the dressing rooms. Port Talbot just had a bit more class when it's counted.
They probably had the best of the start of the game, and then Penygraig did start to come back into it with some good wing play, but it has definitely been Port Talbot finishing stronger this half. I think the referee's got a real tough job now after those challenges. There's a lot of people that could potentially get heated in the ground, so it's going to be a tough job to make sure that the players stay disciplined in the game.
Yeah, it's amazing how heated an atmosphere 300, 400, 500 can create.
This for me is non-league football. I think you've got a great ground here where you've got a 400, 500, 600 maybe in the ground, and it creates that atmosphere, being right on top of the players on the pitch. and it's definitely a different sort of feel to maybe a Premier League or Championship
I'll go
game.
back to my formative days on the Rhondda leader. I saw plenty of referees, actually it's quite fitting, plenty of referees fall to pieces in front of the little stand they used to have at Ennis Park, Tom Pentra.
I played there many a time.
And in my day, often with Clive Thomas watching on the side. And Keith Cooper and those sort of people. Proper referees. Although Nick Pratt's doing all right today, you've got to say, let it go.
Yeah, I think he's got a good balance at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, he needs to stay on top of this game.
Yeah. Probably knew that as well, didn't he, coming into it. We're in the 45th minute as the free kick goes in. And Tomlinson with the effort, but wide. Worth a try though, Scott Tomlinson.
When you got the ball, Def, you might just give him the flash to the camera.
He's definitely got one of those in the locker. I've seen a couple of goals over the year from Scott Tomlinson from outside of the box. So yeah, a bit too much space there on the second ball coming back across, and he was unlucky not to keep that down.
I think it said 2 minutes. Added time. Board has gone up. May have been 3. It's another of those crunching challenges. This time from Ethan Davis, sends Chichigoy down the left-hand side. Baker goes across, concedes the corner.
That's how they're going to get back in this game. It's a really, really good challenge on the halfway line. Slides the ball to the winger, and then the fullbacks immediately dropping off. They're wary of that pace that the Penygraig boys have got.
Well, it's Connor Edwards who's going to take this corner. Right-footed from the left-hand side. Plenty of movement in the box, but Baker gets there ahead of everybody. Who's he going to drop for in the penalty? There's a real scramble. Shot from the Penygraig fans for a penalty. Nobody shouted for it on the pitch. Good ball in, and it goes all the way through to Curtis, despite the diving effort of Ian Smith.
Yeah, he's nearly got on the end of that one. Again, second phase coming in. They do look dangerous from those set pieces.
Tomlinson again may have a dip. Close to half time. Decided to go wide. And it's hoisted high, wide, and not too handsome.
It's a great touch there from Chris Allen. He's seen it over his shoulder, got it in his toe, and then he's poked it through. And that was another good chance for Talbot.
Not too long now until we hear the half-time whistle. There we are, bang on cue. Well, it's been hard fought as we expected, and at the moment the favourites from Tier 4, Port Talbot Town, have their noses in front. We think it was Lewis Davis got the last touch on a near post header from a corner. A couple of words from you, Mark Naparea. Thoughts on the first half very quickly?
I think it's just a really enjoyable non-league football match. Both teams, really committed, challenges going in. I think Talbot have just edged that first half. But I do feel like Penygraig could come back into this game if they could play to their strengths in the second half.
So that's it for first half coverage on Red Wall Plus. This is Rob Phillips saying go make a cup of tea and come back and join us in the second half in a few minutes. So welcome back to Red Wall coverage of the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy Final. Port Talbot Town in blue strip, playing from left to right, and leading Penygraig United by a 1-0. And Port Talbot have blinked first. Michael Morris has come off with Connor Morgan replacing him. Connor Morgan is wearing 14. It's a winger for a winger. Didn't see too much of Morris in that first half.
Yeah, that big challenge, Rob. I think that 50-50.
Yeah.
I think the boy got booked in the end, but he hasn't been able to recover from that, so it'll be a straight swap with Morgan.
So we are underway. Penygraig chasing a goal with vociferous support, you'd have to say. And we were just saying at half time, as Paul Talbot win an early corner. Mark Naparay, who's alongside me, Trefelin assistant manager. Interesting that Penygraig and their manager Josh Broom didn't go into the dressing room at half time. They stayed out on the pitch. Doing a Phil Brown, I heard someone say as I walked through the crowd.
I don't think it was quite a Phil Brown. There wasn't a dressing down going on, but there's a lot of information being given out to the Penygraig boys.
And all that will go to the window if they concede here. It was a good header at the near post from Simkis.
Again, the delivery on the corners have been really good this afternoon. Another great ball in swinging by Saunders.
So Ryan Kostromin is trotted across to take the corner. Was accurate in the first half. It's going to be an in-swinger putting pressure on Morgan Harrison. Dealt with though that time by the Rhondda club. Floated back in. Again, it's a yellow shirt, gets the first head to it. And then danger averted as it's nodded over the top. So let me give you the two sides. It's Chris Curtis in goal for Port Talbot. And then across the back it's Sam Baker, the captain, with Lewis Davis, Andrew Davis. Lewis Davis is the goal scorer, and Corey Saunders. Ryan Kostrom in the heart of midfield. Niall Hayes and Scott Tomlinson. And as we said, Connor Morgan has now replaced Michael Morris, with Chris Allen and Jordan Edwards up front for Port Talbot. Penygraig, no changes for them. They're on the ball now, all in yellow, moving down this near side. Kostromin didn't mean that to go there. Cleared away. So Penygraig have Morgan Harrison in goal, across the back, Declan Simkis, Bradley Cook, Mark Crutch, Ethan Davis, Ian Smith, Connor Edwards and Adam Gould in the midfield. And it's Michael Hathaway up front, Jordan Chichigoy and Ty Watts either side. The referee is Nick Pratt, who's done all right so far. Crutch is waiting for that. Has to deal with it though, and does. Left-footed clearance by Morgan Harrison, goes straight out. Too strong for Simkis, and you think, Mark Naparay, that Port Talbot will be itching to get that second goal just to put a bit more doubt in the minds of these Penygraig players.
I think definitely, and I think if Penygraig are able to get one back, this place is going to look totally different with the amount of supporters they brought down, so it's really important that they get the next one.
Well, they've done really well to get here. Here's Chichigoy, one of their main weapons. That's good play though by Niall Hayes, and they've seen that off well. He is a threat down this near side, the left winger. Ty Watts on the other side. We talked about it enough in the first half.
That's great running there from the number 8, who's actually playing in the 8 role, but he's covered his full back all the way back to support him. One of their threats again out wide, but he's done really well there.
Yeah, he's a box-to-box athlete. He's here last year as well, or at Port Talbot last year as well. Well, I thought Chichigoy might have got the foul, but Adam Gould did in the end.
I'm surprised now that they haven't sent Crutch and his partner at the back up for this one.
Not predictable. Simkis cut infield, but his pass is cut out. Touch on that far side for Conor Morgan.
It's going to be a tough half for Corey over there with the crowd. They're a lively bunch in that corner, and it's going to be tough there for the left back second half.
3 or 4 bus loads by all accounts from the Rhondda. Cook plays the ball through. Offside flag up again, and there's no need. I know it's sort of not professional football, but there's no need to be offside when you've got Chichigoy's pace.
Yes, definitely one of the
Beats me
coaches.
up, honestly.
One of the coaches' pet hates as well. But yeah, I think the official attendance given today was over 1,200.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Which is absolutely amazing for an occasion like this, and great for our club as well, being able to host this type of game.
Now, we wonder what might happen, whether they might switch the 2 wingers, and you will have noticed Chichigoy wearing 11 was fouling on the right wing then, and Ty Waters wearing 17 has crossed over to the left wing. They both like to get wide and cut inside.
I think that's a really good option. I think even to try it for the next 5 or 10 minutes to see if that causes a different problem for Talbot.
Stroman is the architect of all the free kicks. He's taken this one as well. Harrison should collect that, and does. Here's Chichigoy, but he's robbed in that midfield. Gould came across. Baker fires it forwards. Good ball too. Chance here. 2-0. Second goal for Port Talbot, and Jordan Edwards from the through ball from Baker took it beautifully. Port Talbot Town 2, Penygraig United 0.
I think Sam Baker's just claimed that goal as an assist more than the actual goal scorer there. He's really pleased. It was a great ball in, and that's Jordan Edwards for you. That's what he'll do. He'll always be on the move in the box. He's already had a couple of chances today, so he'll be really pleased that he's managed to stick that away, and that was really important for Talbot to start this half in that way.
Well, he signed in January from Goitra. He's from Port Talbot. He was on the bench, wasn't he, in Europe as well many moons ago? And he scored twice in the semi-final. He's got another one here. That's his 15th of the campaign. Now what have Penygraig got in front of them? They don't look like the sort of side who are going to throw in the towel. But psychologically, that's huge, isn't it, Mark?
It is big, but 2-0 is a really, really dangerous scoreline, because a goal to get back in this.
Cross into the box. Gould went in for it. It's a cross in from the left again. Watts gets involved. Little nudge, no foul, says the referee. Port Talbot will try and break, but Simkis steps in, thought about hitting it, does so now. Hits it wide.
Yeah, I was just saying 2-0 is a dangerous score against this type of team. If you put a 1 goal into Penygraig now, the next 10 minutes after that is going to be really difficult. So Port Talbot have got to make sure they keep it tight for the next 10 at least. Because, like I said, a goal can change this ground and can change this game.
Behind the goal, Chris Curtis's goal, is a 3G pitch which Trefelin play on, yeah? Facility.
Yeah, we were really fortunate to have some grant funding through the guys behind the scenes in the club who worked hard. So we're able to pretty much run most things from the club now. We do analysis in the clubhouse and then the 3G for training as well. So it is really a great facility down here now.
Penygraig can't get the better of Corey Saunders that time. Good job by the left back. He's had his work cut out, first with Talbot and then Penygraig. He was signed in the summer, was Corey Saunders. Richard Ryan, the manager, been in charge since the summer. And we'll be very happy with the way things are going. He's actually big mates with Mark Crutch in the opposition. And actually, I spoke to Richie in the week, and Mark Crutch had just rung him. And he said, "Are you sure you're supposed to be speaking to me a few days before the final?" But hey, it didn't mean anything.
I think that's what it's like in football. You know, you play with players, and you know there's a number of players that will travel around different clubs in the Welsh League, and you form friendships. And it's great to hear that from Richie. You know, keeping in touch with Mark. I would say though, I don't think he is looking too pleased there on the sideline. He's still looking a bit nervous because he knows that one goal in this goal in this game can totally change it.
You managers, you're never satisfied, are you?
Maybe at 3-0 he might look a little bit different.
Yeah. Throw in, flicked on, and Curtis collects. I think he just looks naturally nervous all the time, on edge, and it's a big occasion, so why not? Harrison is out, despite the efforts of Tomlinson.
Mark Crutch had to use all of the experience there to get his body in the way. That was a half chance there for Tomlinson.
Good ball control by Curtis. Watts escapes the challenge. Back to Edwards. It did look, I could hear the foul then. I could hear the click.
I think the refs missed that one there.
Oh, and then a bad mistake by Cook. And Crutch gets him out of trouble. That was a Crutch to rest on, if you see what I mean. Good run by Simkis again. He's been lively down that right-hand side. Little flicker on the corner by Hathaway. Penygraig gets there. Half cleared by Corey Saunders. "13 minutes gone in the second half. You're watching red wall coverage of the Amateur Trophy final. With myself, Rob Phillips, and Mark Naparella, the assistant at Trefelin, where this game is being played. Good run by Watts down the left-hand side, and another offside flag.
Yeah, Watts again, great feet in the wide areas, and unfortunately the runners just run offside there, but I think that's what they need. They need Watts facing up a defender and going at him.
As you say, Mark, one goal for Penygraig changes this, but not been too much of a threat to Chris Curtis so far.
And I think on that one it'll be interesting to see what the managers decide. You know, will they'll have to maybe roll the dice at one point, maybe try and go two up top, cause a bit more problem for the centre half.
Went past everybody then, and Curtis gave the shout.
I think that was well left there by Andrew Davis, who is actually one of our coaches here at Trefelin.
Is he any good?
as a coach or a player?
Oh, well, both.
No, he's a great lad, Andrew. He's been at Trefelin for a number of years.
Played in the semi-final. Apparently it was his first game for a couple of years, that one.
Yeah, he stepped
So
back
you must
in,
be
I think.
keeping him fit at Trefelin, put it that way.
Richie's asked him to sign with a few injuries, so he's stepping in here and he's doing a job for him.
Cross is cut out by Saunders again. He's done really well in that left-back area. And Port Talbot move their way out. It's good play. Hutch is there to nod that down for Edwards. Edwards looks long, goes square though to the holding player. Ian Smith just helps it along. Cook, the captain, into Edwards. Looks at the run of Gould. Can't keep the ball in though.
Yeah, the pitches, even with the rain yesterday, they've dried out so quickly and the ball's just skipping through. So if it's straight balls like that, it's got to be right on the money for them to get in, otherwise it's going to run out of play.
So change for Penygraig. Mitchell Hathaway is going off and Finley James is coming on, a young direct winger who plays mainly on the right hand side.
Well, what they've got now, Rob, is they've got three wingers up there, so it's not really going to suit a direct style of play, but there's plenty of pace to trouble the back line.
Costume, everything goes through him for Port Talbot. Not his best ball forward, that one. So it looks like Chichigoy has gone in the middle for Penygraig with the substitute. Finley James on the right hand side.
Well, what this game needs, Rob, I think, is just a little moment of magic from someone. I think one of the Penygraig boys, maybe Watts, if he can get the ball to feet, if he can beat a player or two, that could change this game.
Well, I just heard Josh Broom, the manager, shout, "Time to play, boys. Time to be brave."
I think you put that a little bit more politely than what I was shouted on,
He
Rob.
did, yeah. I'm sparing his blushes. Family show. Should say how they all both got here. Port Talbot were 4-1 winners over Bonamine, the qualifying round. Beat Birchgrove Colts 5-0. Won 5-0 at Pontarddulais. Won 2-0 at Llangino. Then they beat Connors Key on penalties. It'll go straight to penalties if this game is a draw. And they also won on penalties in round 5 after a 2-all draw with Cumberland. And then in the semi-final, they won 3-1 at Park Avenue against Treader Bay. Jordan Edwards scored twice. Hayden Chappell-Smith got... sorry, that's Penygraig. That's got the... No, that was Port Talbot. There we are. Penygraig, well, they were... This is a big derby. Ooh, sliding challenge in then. And somehow he got it there. Give it the Penygraig run now. It is quite something. Long range shot which Harrison collects. Penygraig beat Penygraig Boys and Girls Club in the qualifying round 9-1. Then they beat Cardiff Airport 2-1. Won 2-0 at Dinas Powys, 4-0 at Bridgend Street, 3-2 at West End. They went to penalties. Morgan Harrison saved twice after they'd drawn 1-1 with Bow Street. And then at Newtown in the semi-final, they won 1-0 against Llanrwst. with Ty Watts scoring the vital goal. So they both worked hard to get here.
Yeah, there's a number of games, isn't there, to get to the final, so I think it makes it even more of a bigger occasion for these two teams. And Penygraig, I'm sure, will have to change something at some point just to try and get back into this game.
Yeah.
But if they can...
It's a yellow card for Adam Gould. And it was Ryan Kostromen who felt that. Gingerly get into his feet.
Sam Baker's just asked the coach, is there only 2 minutes left? So
feeling the pace, you think?
He might be feeling the pace or a little nervy still.
Bad news, Sam. There's another 25 plus injury time.
He should know that as a referee.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. 2-0 though, his side lead. Gould helps the ball wide to the marauding Declan Simkis, who's been on that run all... Oh, it's a lovely ball in as well. It's well dealt with, actually.
It's a great ball in, but Andrew Davis, he's been in that middle of the defence and he hasn't really moved much from that area, and he's doing his job, just blocking shots, dealing with crosses. And that was a great ball in.
Watts tries to find a way through, and he has, towards the penalty area, crosses, cleared away. Look, is that the river behind us?
I think that one's been saved from the river.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was close.
Trefelin supplying the balls.
I think the Welsh Alfie will be supplying
right,
them.
okay.
And hopefully we'll probably be keeping a couple.
You heard it here first. It bounces up nicely for Curtis. Played with the manager, Richard Ryan, at Goitra. He's picked a few of his familiar people, hasn't he, from the past.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience in this Talbot team throughout the Welsh leagues. And yeah, I think that's why they've had success in the game. They've been able to control some parts. They're using their experience now, slowing it down, and managing the game.
So you're expecting them to stay here if they win? Celebrate at Trefelin? Well, it's not too far for home, is it, for them?
Most of these boys are local, and I'm sure, even though a few might have some things going on tomorrow, they'll be here late tonight.
I think they will. Well, they are on their way at the moment, leading 2-0. Missing two players as well, Kerry Williams and Warren Hudson, both abroad.
Easter holidays, Rob.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do about that at this level, is there? Oh, somebody's being rung from home. Good clearance, looking for the substitute, but can't get a control of it. Finley James went back to help out there. Two more Penygraig subs in the offing. Baker gets there ahead of Watts. I don't think he fancied a sliding Sam Baker, because he's got his socks down around his ankles. So it's a sitting target for any defender. Feet is the shot from the Penygraig bench.
Yeah, that shout's come because they don't really have a target man up there. They've got three wingers, and unless they're playing feet, they're going to get beaten in the air, which has happened quite a few times. There's a change coming on now, Rob. Double change, so this might be the one that changes things a little bit.
So Tam Day is coming on for Adam Gould. And surprisingly, Declan Simkis, who I thought was doing pretty well, is being replaced too. And that's Kieran Garland.
Well, the 18
23.
Robbers run straight on here, and he might well have a long throw because they're set up for it.
You're right, Mark. And you're right about the throw. He's come back out to him, this time low into the box. Headed back inside again. Could have gone anywhere. They win a corner to the Rhondda side, trailing 2-0. 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, not a bad throw there from Kieran Garland. I think they obviously crutches the target there. Talbot dealt well with it, getting a man in front and behind. But those second phase delivery did cause a problem then.
Talbot is going to take this corner from the right-hand side. It's a crowded 6-yard box. It's floated in, and it's headed behind. It was a good header as well, had to be.
That's another unbelievable delivery there. Ty Watts has put one straight in. It might
Kieran
not be far off
Garland,
going
the
in.
sub, was the I think they got a big man up there now. Kieran Garland, the youngster. Corner again. Keeper gets to it this time. And one of the other substitutes, Finley James, can't make anything of it. Knocks it over the top. With the goal though, looks terrible when you hit it that high.
I think he just got it stuck under his feet there. His first touch probably let him down where he just needed it out a little bit to the side or in front for him to step on. But, better by Penygraig here. And it'll be interesting to see now of the right back is tall as well. So from set pieces now, they're definitely going to be a bit more of a threat. And they've also got the long throw.
He's a big lad, isn't he? The fearless Sam Baker in there. Steelmen picks up the loose ball in midfield. Strong enough to hold on to it too. Floated cross. Harrison drops it. Thumped away by Crutch. Steelmen. Second ball is the shot, but it's dropped to poor Talbot. And just too strong. Gave Chris Allen no chance. Two-0 it is, and the clock is the enemy of Penygraig now.
I wouldn't be surprised, Rob, if that 18 Kieran who's come on, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes his way further forward shortly.
Looks like Port Talbot are going to make a change as well.
Chris Allen is down, I think, Rob. A bit of cramp by the looks of it.
And it's Aidan Smith going on. Aidan Chappell-Smith to give him his full title. Club captain last season. And he's replaced Chris Allen. Good shot, Mark. Good job you're here. Good shot, Mark. Good job you're here. Thump forward by Cook. They don't want to let it bounce now because they got flyers up front. Beefy challenge. Port Talbot plays on the left-hand side. They're taking a wicked stick, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a tough place to be over there. You've got to make sure your first touch is right. And you don't want to be caught in the ball in that corner either.
I mean, is it better to be over there than by your coach? I mean, I know you'd think the coach is on your side, but they can be pretty brutal when they want to, can't they? And you can hear everything here.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be on my coach's side, having
Yeah,
some
you would,
support
would you?
than those lot behind
I've
me.
seen plenty of fullbacks in the past who haven't liked that. Should tell you that tomorrow I shall be making my way to Newtown for the Genero Adran playoff final between Pontypridd United, who won the Adran South, and Conisky Nomads, who won the North, for a place in the Premier League next season. Looking forward to that. That's 12:30 kickoff in Newtown. I'll be interested to see whether the crowd matches this. I suspect, given the fervent support from Penygraig, it won't be, but it's a fair track for both of them. Why are we forcing it? After that ball forward, is the shout from the bench?
I think the answer to that question is probably a lack of movement. So the top line is really static along the back line there. If there's a little bit more movement, it could create a few more problems, because especially with the centre-halves, they don't really want to pop out with the forwards.
Got to say that Lewis Davis, who scored the first goal, and Andrew Davis have been absolute rocks at the back. And you made the point, Mark, neither have moved from, other than Lewis Davis going up front to score the first goal.
Yeah, and I think that's where Penygraig need to just change something. Either put something up there that's going to go and compete with them, or they need to kind of drop off to move them around a little bit.
Chichigoy picks it up. Again, another beefy challenge going in. There's movement now, but there are plenty of blue shirts back. Well, they'll be happy not to move if they need to. Watts again, he looks the most likely way through and wins a corner.
It's great defensive shape there for Talbot. They're doubling up in the wide areas with 9 men behind the ball there. Nice and solid and compact. But Watts again is a danger, so he's won a corner there. And like we said, we've got that extra size now on the pitch from Penygraig.
Yeah, we are stooping to see the game. As a header goes in, and it is in. Maybe an own goal on the line from Ostromis, but Penygraig are back in this. It's 2-1. And I think it was, just trying to say, I think it was Ian Smith who got the touch.
I think Crutch got the touch, but then there was definitely another touch going into the net. But the crowd now have gone absolutely crazy in this ground, and the next 10 minutes for Talbot are going to be really challenging.
Well, 12 minutes to go, plus whatever time may be added on. It's 2-1. They've shown so far in this competition, Penygraig, that they don't know when they're beaten.
Crutch again there with a brilliant tackle. He's going to be sore in the morning. He's up winning headers. Now he's back there winning tackles. Fair play. He's really putting it in for his.
I didn't run around like him when I was 21, let alone 41. He is you've got to say, he's a brilliant example and a brilliant leader. Couldn't do much then for that clearance out of goal. Oh, Harrison was tracking back then, and he looked scared for a few seconds, and it just dipped over the top.
To be fair, that's been on a lot of the time today.
The It's a good game now, 2-1. As Watts goes chasing forward, Curtis comes out to meet him and collects. To Port Talbot now, what are you thinking, Mark?
Well, with Watson, I just felt, could he have got there? Could he have given Curtis a bit of a problem? He was close to the box. They just need maybe another gear to go up to Penygraig, and they could cause some real problems here.
Shove the handball, not given. Against Ethan Davis. Thrust out to that right side of Finley James. James only half cleared by the Port Talbot defence. Shot for a foul. Davis moves forward. Oh, lovely play, and he's well, Tam Day, I think, can feel a bit aggrieved. That's not a free kick.
Yeah, great feet there by Tam in the middle of the park, and I don't know, I thought personally that was probably a foul. There was a bit of contact, but you can see the confidence coming through the Penygraig team now. It's amazing what a goal can do to a team.
We would love to take this to penalties. But Port Talbot have been dogged in defence throughout. And they've just got to calm this storm, haven't they? Just move through, but it's a good challenge again. They're out to Watts against Baker. Watts moves onto his left foot, shoots, can't get much juice on it. Curtis collects.
Baker's done really well there. He's exposed it. It hasn't happened many times today. Conor Morgan's second half has been in front of Watts, but they managed to find him directly and quickly. But Baker's done really well there to deal with Watts.
Cook can only head that out for a throw-in. He's been their main defender for the last few seasons. Port Talbot just looking to quell this little flurry from Penygraig, which has resulted in a goal. 2-1. The favourites lead. The local team lead.
Yeah, I'm so glad they managed to get a goal for all the people who've travelled down here. And also this next 10 minutes now is going to be really interesting.
The voice of Mark Paparea, the Trefelin assistant here at Ennis Park. Port Talbot win a corner. Referee has strolled over to make sure it's... Oh no, it's a free kick, sorry.
A little free kick there.
Yeah.
I think he just nipped past him. But a little bit too early to keep it in the corner, I think, at this point.
8 minutes plus added time to go. Free kick coming in from that left-hand side. Oh, he's hit the bar. And that was Costromin. Baker fires it long, crutches under it. Port Talbot pick up the second ball, shot blocked. Finley James now drives it long. Sometimes the ball just goes anywhere, doesn't it?
Crutch, I think, has gone up now.
Goalkeeper is out. He's stranded if he loses it, and he gets there just in time.
So Mark Crutch has gone up top now, so they've got that target man. They just need to hit Crutch, and then they need runners off him.
Yeah, Crutch is the target. Finley James with the throw. Real urgency about Penygraig now. Chichigoya's gone across there. Wins the free kick. Referee wasn't going to give it, but the linesman was bang on hand. 2-1 Port Talbot lead.
It'd be very interesting now to see if we can get another Harry Maguire moment from midweek, with Crutch maybe scoring one with his head here late on.
So it's Watts who's gone across there to take this, so it'll be swung in, left-footed from that right-hand side. 2-1 Port Talbot lead. 6 or 7 minutes to go plus added time. Watts floats it in. Curtis collects. That's what you want from your keeper.
It was really important there from Curtis. It was great position for the ball coming in, but that just relieves a little bit of pressure, and hopefully Talbot can get themselves out now.
Davis is under that, heads it back to his goalkeeper. Crutches stayed forward. They're looking long for him again, but Strowman gets in there that time. Nips it past Watts. Was looking for the runner up front. Watts runs into traffic, then gets out. He's hot to handle still. James on that right hand side. Nips past Saunders. James low cross. I think it was a shot actually. And Curtis plucked it out of the air.
Yeah, this is a brilliant end to the game, Rob. Great little play from Watts. Managed to get the switch on the other side. And it's a great effort in the end from the right winger.
Davis heads it back to his goalkeeper again. He can go long now, but instead he rolls it out. Chichigoy sees the run of James. James nips inside Saunders, just gets a foot in. Boots it long. Anywhere will do at the moment. They've done better than that though. They've got the second ball and win the corner.
Great recovery from Kieran. There's definitely a few boys running on empty out there, but Finn James looks like he's got a bit of energy. He came on as a substitute, so he could be one to look out for in the last 5 minutes.
4 minutes plus added time, and there'll be a bit. They've been subs by both sides, and Ryan Kostromin, who's done well, I think, in the midfield.
That's Ryan's game. He just sits in front of the back four, picks up balls. He's at good areas, but he's got that dead ball quality as well.
He's going to try and show it now. Kostromin with the corner. Poor Talbot looking for the goal that probably seals it. Pushed away by Harrison. Picked up by Watts. Flicks it over his shoulder. Awkward ball out. And Kostromin tackled though. Good tackle, Finley James. Looks long. Well, that's a free kick on Saunders. There wasn't much culture to that, was there?
A little bit too much contact on the back of that one, but I thought Finn James probably could have travelled there. He had a bit of space. The defence was dropping off. So, yeah, probably could have travelled then and caused a few more problems.
Saunders is in a few problems here, I think. I think he might have fallen on a wrist or something. It was Chichigoy who made his presence felt.
So for me here, Rob, with the tactic of putting Crutch up top, I'd like to see Watts get a little bit closer. Also, Chichi over the other side. Get a little bit closer as well, and then maybe play direct. I think it can cause a few more problems than what they're doing at the minute.
Well, at the moment, Watts is in conversation with Sam Baker. I don't know if it's a meeting of minds. They look all right. They're having a little natter. Maybe he's saying, do you want to come down here next season?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past Sam Baker, but yeah, a little bit too friendly for the last 5 minutes of the cup final for my liking.
2 minutes plus added time to go. There'll be a fair bit of added time. It's 2-1 to Port Talbot Town. Lewis Davis and Jordan Edwards with the two Port Talbot goals, but Penygraig haven't given this one up yet.
It's a great header there by Kieran Garland, punched it back 25 yards, and Penygraig are on the attack again now.
Linesman incurs the wrath of the Penygraig fans by giving the throw in the Port Talbot way. Hope you've enjoyed the Red Wall coverage of this cup final. The Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy final. We're in the dying minutes now. And within a minute or so, it'll be all eyes on the fourth official. See how long he's had it on. That's a thumping header. Awkward clearance. Harrison is out quickly again. Penygraig are much better when they bring the ball on the deck and play, aren't they?
Yeah, no one's taking a backward step at the moment in this game. This is proper full-blooded from both teams.
Chichigoi wide to James, who's onside. Flag stays down. 5 minutes of added time left to play. No foul, says the linesman on that far side. Every tackle is really heavy now. Whoa. Port Talbot are not committing too many men forward. They've seen the fourth official board go up. Davis is going to hit this one long. Looking for Crutch. Curtis comes out and collects. 42-year-old Chris Curtis beat 41-year-old Mark Crutch to the ball.
Crutch is running on empty there. It was just an overhit 5 yards. But that is the ball. They need that straight ball into Crutch, and then can they get it on the end of one of his flicks?
We're playing the 5 minutes of added time. Another change being made. This time from Port Talbot.
Yeah, so Kieran Hayes here, Rob. He's going to come into the central defence, I have no doubt. But they will lose Steelmen there in the midfield. But I'm sure he'll try and go and deal with the direct play that's going to be coming.
Brother of Niall Hayes. Brother of Niall Hayes. Steelmen can feel well pleased with his contribution, I think. Been as good as anybody out there today. And at the moment, if you're a Port Talbot Town fan, the ball is in the right area. And they're eking out time on the clock. The men in blue, Port Talbot Town. Richie Ryan still looks nervous. Kieran Hayes gets involved. Cross hits it too long. Will be kept in though by Aidan Chappell-Smith. Decides not to cross, goes back for Saunders. Chappell-Smith again. Cuts inside. Beats one challenge. And Harrison is confident that's going to be a goal kick. And there, on my watch, 2.5 minutes left of the added 5. We're in the last chance saloon for Penygraig. James leaves a man in his wake. Crosses, look at the Crutch. Crutch header, just onto the top of the net. Is that the chance?
That might have been the one. It was a great delivery. Out wide again from Finley. He's come on, he's made an impact on that right-hand side. And it's just gone over the crossbar.
Well, the Port Talbot coach Richie Ryan missed the semi-final because he was the best man at a wedding. He'll be glad he turned up for this one. 2 minutes to go. Port Talbot Town leading by 2-1. And that's play it anywhere as far from our goal as I can. Here's Day. Right to James. Goes off a Port Talbot leg. It's Kieran Garland with the throw. You'd like him in there to receive it, wouldn't you? But Time running out for Penygraig. This could be their last chance. Watts comes back out of Garland. Garland flicks it forward first time. Pumped away. We're into the last minute of added time. Oh, that's giving the ball away. Is that going to be a free kick? It is. And it's going to be a booking for Connor Edwards.
A smart play by Jordan Edwards. I think you could see by the cheeky smile when he got up. He's hit it past the defender. His leg is there. Little bit of contact and he's gone down. He's won a foul. That should relieve the pressure.
It's 2-1 Port Talbot Town, and as far as they're concerned, they are in the right area, the right end of the pitch. And Penygraig will do well to get another chance now, although it's an offside flag goes up. He's got to go forward now. Chichigoy taken away
this
from
is the
him.
last one, a long throw. Finley, Kieran Garland, long throw.
Everybody forward. Oh, love this. Morgan Harrison, the goalkeeper, has gone forward as well. They've taken it before he can get there. Crutch heads it on. And the final whistle goes. And it's the men in blue, Port Talbot Town, who celebrate. They've had a real scrap on their hands from the previous giant killers, Penygraig United, who did really well to get this far. But it's Port Talbot Town who are the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy winners with a 2-1 victory. We will stay on for the presentations. Alongside me, Mark Napare has been with me all afternoon. Did they deserve that, Mark?
It's a tough one. I think they probably did. I think it was quite an even game. Penygraig give absolutely everything there to try and get back into the game. Got the goal, but I think Port Talbot have just edged it on the day. Just that little bit of more quality, maybe a little bit more experience in the side, and I think they fully deserve to lift the trophy today.
Well, it's their neck of the woods as the trophy setup is brought to not too far in front of us. There's a celebration. Penygraig look understandably disappointed, but they've got no need for reproach because they've given it a real go today.
I just don't think they could have done anything more than what they've done, really. I think they've given everything. Mark Crutch has been everywhere. He's played up front, he's won headers, he's got him back into the game, so he's done himself proud there. They'd be probably a little bit disappointed, maybe not to put a little bit more pressure on. But fair play to Port Talbot. They need to take a lot of credit because this was a big crowd. A 2-1, that was a difficult game for Port Talbot, and I thought they'd done really well just to manage the game, to limit it to very few opportunities, so the crowd, didn't affect the game as much as what it could have.
Big celebrations with Port Talbot. Family out there as well. Nobody's too young to enjoy a cup final. And they go over to their supporters on the near side. Penygraig are in a huddle just outside the centre circle, and I think Josh Broom will be saying to them, you've got no need to feel bad, just beaten by the better side on the day. They've still got a promotion to celebrate as well.
I think what's great to see in the Penygraig team, but I wouldn't just say the team. I think if you look at the crowd they brought down, the community of Penygraig have really probably brought them on this journey to the cup final. It is disappointing that they've not been able to win it. They've probably just come up against too good a side on the final game, but the togetherness of the football club and the community and the support that they've received. They should feel really proud in what they've done and their journey, and also the way they played today against probably a better team on the day.
Yeah, the presentation will be made by Will Lloyd-Williams, who's chairman of the FAW Cup Board, and Phil Sweet, who is a member of the FAW Cup Board. This is their big moment as well.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have one of these moments last night, and they don't come round too often in football. To win trophies, to win leagues is something really special. So this is really special for the Talbot side, especially with the club going through such a tough time. This will feel really good for the boys lifting the trophy.
Yeah, it will. 25 years since they last won a trophy. In fact, that was a promotion to the Cymru Premier. Robert Cockings, one of the coaches, was actually playing that day. They lifted the Welsh League Cup as well. So, and they've got another cup final, the SWFA Cup against Dinas Powys on May the 3rd. They've had 3 relegations. They've gone through some tough times, but I think Richie Ryan, who joined in the summer, was determined to try and rebuild things here.
Yeah, I think I've seen Richie. I've listened to a lot of the words that he's been saying. He's trying to build the club, bring back the fan base. I think they've achieved that today because a number of supporters have come out from the town to support them. Hats off to Penygraig though. I think they've outnumbered them and some in the crowd in their own hometown, which is so impressive and shows, the community behind the club. But what Talbot have done, and what Richie set out to achieve with the 2 cup finals, he's probably going to leave the season happy on that note.
Yeah, he will. And I think Sam Baker will remember this, his final year, before I think he concentrates on the refereeing and the coaching.
I think he's probably said that a few times. So,
oh, is he?
Yeah.
So I take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, I would on that one, especially after that ball he just knocked in for the second goal. In his head now, I have no doubt he'd be thinking he's got a couple of more seasons left.
And why not? Why give up? Well, Port Talbot scored early, Lewis Davis. And then early in the second half as well, Jordan Edwards, when Penygraig were looking for a response. They did get one later. I think it was Mark Crutch maybe got the final touch, although it may have been an own goal on the line. But despite a valiant effort at the end, they couldn't just find a second. Chris Curtis, in all honesty, has probably had quieter games, but you have to say about Penygraig, when their wingers get on the ball, it's a good game to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, I love watching teams with good wingers and attacking play in wide areas, and I think Finley there put a great ball in. Mark Crutch was at the far post, and that was the moment I thought that he probably deserved that, to just drop under the crossbar and to send it to penalties, just for the effort that Mark has put in. He's covered every bit of grass on the pitch as a centre half, and I have no doubt he's going to be feeling very sore in the morning.
Testing the friendship with Richie Ryan, isn't he?
Yeah, if that goal would have gone in, I think that would have been the tester for sure.
Right, looks like the presentation is about to take place, and let me tell you, it's the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy Final. It doesn't matter what cup you're in. If you get to the final and you win, Mark Naparaya, these are memories you don't forget. And even if you lose, you try and put them out and they drive you on to the next time, but actually this is a day where those Penygraig fans won't forget.
Yeah, it's been a massive day for them. You can tell by the way they've turned out in their numbers. But like you said, winning things in football is difficult. If you look at this cup and the run that both teams have had to go through, and the number of rounds to get to the final, this isn't an easy competition to win. So the boys can be really proud, Port Talbot, of lifting this trophy. And I'm sure they'll kick on the back of this positive result.
So Nick Pratt and his team get their medals. Big game for them as well. Rodri Davis and Chimizarim Iwuke, the two assistants. And it'll be... well, there we are. The referee gets the pose in front of the with his assistants. While Penygraig stepped forward after a strong effort by them.
All the Talbot players here clapping the Penygraig boys. It just shows that mutual respect and also how much hard work and effort and how they pushed them in this game.
Will Lloyd-Williams and Phil Sweet handing out the medals. They've done unbelievably well to get this far. They'll be disappointed as we see the players get their losers medals, runners-up medals. It's an awful place to be, but you can at least go home with something. And there's Josh Broom, the manager, collecting his as well. There he goes, the bearded Josh Broom. They've still got plenty to celebrate. But there is only one place for a final, and that's to be a winner.
Yeah, big moment here for Andrew Davis as well. He lifted a trophy last night with Trefelin as a coach, and now he's turned up and played the next day with Talbot and another cup final, so on his home ground. Really big moment for him.
So the goalkeeper Chris Curtis, a Llanelli veteran, leads the way. And they will take their place, every one of them. Behind the little board that's been set up. I think we're just far enough away to escape the... Well, is it champagne they've got, or is it Prosecco?
I'm not sure, Rob.
You'd like to think the FAW bought champagne, wouldn't you?
I definitely drank a little bit of that last night.
Yeah, good. What a moment for these players. Poor Talbot Town. Maybe a side on the way back. Maybe a team on the way back. A club on the way back. They've been in Europe, they're in the League of Wales for 14 seasons, and now they will celebrate because there's Richie Ryan and his family getting in on the picture, fully deserved too. Sam Baker is the last up because I think he will receive the cup, will he? Looks like plenty more of the children want to get involved as well. Always space for a young un, even if they're not part of the players' family.
Yeah, Sam Baker's really going to enjoy this moment.
Sam Baker collects the trophy, and poor Talbot Town celebrate as the new champions of the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy Competition. The champagne goes everywhere. One or two drinking, they're not going to waste it. But deserved celebrations. The favourites have come through after a mighty battle here at Ennis Park in Trefelin. Mark Naparea, you're a local lad. You're really feeling for these guys.
Yeah, no, it's a great moment for them. Fair play. It was a tough match. They've managed to get through it. They've come through many rounds, and it's a brilliant way to kind of top off the season. But obviously, they've still got that one cup final to look forward to on top as well.
They have, and I suspect the clubhouse to our right is going to be doing a roaring trade with the vanquished and the victors. But that is it for Red Wall coverage of the Dragon Signs Amateur Trophy Final. Port Talbot Town 2-1 victors over Penygraig United. And it's thank you to Mark Naparere, the assistant manager, Trefelin, sterling work. And it's goodbye from me, Rob Phillips. Catch you again, maybe, at the women's playoff final tomorrow.